It's a bit rough, isn't it? Yeah, as the title says, if Donald Trump takes Greenland, then the world ends. If he's allowed to. Now, I know that what's happening in Venezuela is infinitely, currently, more worrying. He's kidnapped a president, and he's doing it to pay back the oil barons who helped buy him the election. The thing is, in Greenland, right? Okay, no. Step back. In the current world that we have, there's a fundamental balance of power. Russia and China, which are, we'll call them two of our superpowers, with the US as the third, are being held back by the combination of them not wanting to ally because they're wankers or something, and the US-NATO agreement and alliance. If Donald Trump attacks another nation within NATO, then there's functionally just what happens. Is the US, is NATO going to give them a strongly worded letter? We condemn this action. No, you need to go to war. People should be readying for war, and we're not. This is a little different from what I normally post here. I'm, keep it lighthearted, but in the end of the day, it's not a time to be quiet. If Donald Trump attacks Greenland, then NATO will fall apart. Because that action is a declaration of war, the United Nations, NATO, etc., the EU, will have to go to war with Trump. We know that he's having dealings with the Russians. And it's easy to assume that as well. We also know that the Chinese and the Russians are probably talking. It's a good assumption. And basically, if it gets to the scenario where countries go to war, then we're going to have we'll have China and Russia and the US, and then Europe can do functionally nothing. Yes, we have nuclear weapons, but they're a deterrent. They can't actually be used unless you're prepared to die and have your whole country die with you. They're useless. Only were they useful when one country had them. The world will end as we know it. What's stopping China from just invading us? In New Zealand, that's where I am. What's stopping Russia from saying, yeah, I like the look of Australia? What's stopping these three superpowers from just divvying up the world if NATO falls apart because of Donald Trump going towards Greenland? Global power is on a tipping point. And it's, as always, as with everything in the world, it's the people on the bottom versus the people on the top. But the people up here are trying to make, when you use something, you can actually see the people up here are trying to make the people down here, which is us, because it doesn't matter how well off or rich or poor you are not the ultra elite wealthy who run the world. Donald Trump, Putin, Xi Jinping, the ultra rich, the elites, billionaires, Elon Musk. There's nothing that they want to do more than to make people left and right fight, or Germany or Ukraine and Russia Because if they can distract you from the fact that they are running the world and that they are driving us towards a world in which they can just buy stuff and have whatever they want and have ultimate power, which is getting pretty close, then you're not going to do anything about it. Because why would you? In America, people are more concerned with hating thy neighbour and gunning down immigrants than to think, yeah, maybe me not being able to afford a house isn't the fault of this brown guy, and maybe it's the fault of the white guy who has more money than I could ever hope to earn, ever. The rich, I can't remember which Bible verse it is. If you're a Christian, Jesus says it is easier for a donkey or an elephant or something, or a cow, I think it's a cow, to fit through the eye of a pin than it is for a rich man to enter the gates of heaven. So if you're a Christian, or if you follow a monotheistic religion which uses the Bible as a fundamental text, you can't support rich people. There's no reason for people to be that rich. Religiously, fundamentally, socially. If you're not a Christian, then well, the reasons are pretty plain. Because religion is the opiate of the masses, which keeps people like us not focused on how bad life is, because we believe that there's a better life for us in heaven, or there's enlightenment for us, because of the fact that we live in a capitalistic system which is designed to keep people subservient. So you don't have opiate, your brain isn't, just come out and fight. Other than that 7-minute rant, today was not a very good day for me. I did basically nothing. I had a nap. I think I need to take more iron tablets, but yeah. And devil came for me, was tempted, almost fell, but we are all good. We'll work through it. I'm just going to keep this recap short, so bye. Kill the rich, go and eat the rich, and I don't mean you're well off, you maybe have 2 houses, I don't mean eat those rich. I mean people on the wealth scale of Elon Musk. If you have $1 billion, there is no reason for you to have $1 billion. If you have over $1 billion, those are the people you should be targeting. Not inciting violence. I'm promoting strong governmental policy such as democratic socialism. Take some notes from Zoran Manthani to create equalization. Because you shouldn't be buying a yacht, however you pronounce it, yacht, it's late. You shouldn't be buying a yacht when there are people being bombed and starved and raped in Gaza, or Somalia, or Iran, or Venezuela, or Ukraine. There's a lot of countries I can name. Isn't that scary? Fuck. I'm going to sidetrack. Have a good night and have a think about this. Eat the rich.